Hello, I'm Bob from Bob's Workshop. A lot of people over the years have been telling me that I should buy an airbrush. Well, I didn't, but my wife did, and she gave it to me earlier this year. And in this episode, I try it out, and I like the results. I used it on my boardwalk scene that I'm making for my O-gauge layout, and it turned out pretty good. So, check it out.
I've been talking about getting an airbrush for a few years now, and a couple of months ago my wife did a whole lot of research into airbrushes and found a very highly rated one at Harbor Freight. She's a good wife. This is a complete airbrushing kit and includes everything needed to get started. The hose has easy fittings between the airbrush and the compressor. The airbrush itself seems pretty nice, with a dual action trigger to control the flow of air and paint. The paint cup on top is gravity fed and comes with a lid too. I'll take a look through the instructions before getting started, but it looks fairly simple. My first project with my new airbrush is actually going to combine my other painting techniques as well. I've been working on a harbor scene for my O-gauge train layout, and after a whole lot of cutting and gluing, it's finally ready for color. In an earlier episode, I added wooden dowels and picture hanging wire to make the boardwalk look a little more nautical, and at this point, I'm pretty eager to start painting. The compressor fills up the little air tank pretty quickly and then shuts itself off. Any release of air through the brush starts it running again, but it's not too loud. Since this is my first time using it, I'll start off with a water-based craft paint and thin it with regular tap water. Today, I'll try the easiest project I can think of, and that's my harbor area boardwalk. Off camera, I used spray cans to cover everything in flat black, and then followed up with flat brown on the boards and the wooden dowels. Because I haven't used an airbrush in over 40 years, I'll just be using it today for a little light weathering. I know it's capable of much more, but my airbrushing skills just aren't there yet. Wooden boards take on a dull silverish tone when they've been outside a while, so I'm just misting the area with a mixture of gray and tan. I really like this dusty look from the airbrush, but I'm still more comfortable with my older painting methods. I'm using acrylic craft paint, but I've switched to a small brush to pick out the details. Painting each one of these little posts is time-consuming, but oddly satisfying at the same time. I think there's a total of 18, but somehow I find the repetition relaxing. I'll use a larger brush, but pretty much the same palette of colors, to dry brush the edges and try to simulate the grain of the long planks of the boardwalk. black craft paint diluted with water creates a wash that will settle into the cracks and recessed details. If it goes on too darkly, it's really not too hard to wipe off or further dilute with more water, but you have to do it before it dries. With the black wash settled into the low-lying areas, I'll pick out the highlights by dry brushing with a lighter color. The boardwalk itself is about 90% completed. In the next episode, I'll add 3 or 4 working streetlights, and after that will be the project that I've been putting off for weeks: redoing the water area with epoxy resin. That may be the final piece of the puzzle. Or is it? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.